a new signing, and I really, really love this signing. The Jalen Brunson just got paid, but not as much as you may think. Brunson signed a 4-year, $156.5 million contract, leaving $113 million on the table to help the Knicks with flexibility for over time with players. Brandon, I gotta know, man, would you have done this, or do you think this is the right move as a player?
I mean, I think Brunson is thinking beyond himself. Like you said, he wants to give the team as much flexibility as he can. And don't get me wrong, like whatever path you want to take as a player, whether you want to take the most money you can or whether you want to try to save and give your team some flexibility, go get your bag, go do what you got to do. Like, you're the professional. I respect it 100%. But I will say, for me, I tend to lean more towards that older school of mentality, being like, hey, yeah, I've got my bag. I'm getting my bag. Let me give the team the ability to sign some players. Let me maximize not only as much earnings as I can for myself, but let me also maximize as much potential for my team to win a championship as I can and keep a core around me for multiple years and not just do a one and done all in kind of mentality.
Yeah, yeah,
Be Mike with
definitely.
thoughts, bro.
No, I definitely agree with that. Like at the end of the day, he's still getting a bag.
Definitely.
156.5 million. He's still getting a
Yeah.
bag, no
For
matter
four
what.
years,
I
too.
want
Like,
For
that.
dude,
four
like,
years.
like, dude, like, a lot of people don't put it in perspective. And the reason I say this is because I saw a tweet of some guy saying, "Oh, I don't love my boys that much," right?
Yeah.
To this, right? But the mentality is, bro, a lot of these guys come from nothing. Not Brunson. His dad played and he was a coach and all this, so he had a little bit of money. But a lot of people on his team in the Villanova squad didn't come from the same aspect, that's in the same background. So
Yeah.
you're playing with these guys, max 4 years. Brunson, he got drafted what, after 2 years, 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. And still, 3 years is a long time when you're spending time with someone like literally like 24/7, like for like 7 months, 8 months straight, and even more than that, depending if you're working out in the off season together. So you're creating this bond. You're creating a brotherhood. You're creating a long time friendship, like even beyond basketball. And then you're telling me you go to the professional league, the highest top professional league in the world when it comes to basketball, and you got three of those boys that played on the same squad as you to come
I think it's
and
more than
play on the
that at this
same
point.
team as you in the NBA, and you're telling me you're gonna take a max deal of 269.1 million so they don't get theirs. So he's like, yo, you know what? I'll take 100 million down so my boys can come play with me still, and they can get paid, and maybe we could win a chip together. Bro, I
Yeah.
agree with it wholeheartedly, bro. I would do the same thing for my boys, 100%.
Well, and if you think about it for football, that's exactly what Tom Brady did when he came to the Bucks. Like, yeah, he got his. He's always done that with his deals, though. He's like, hey, I'm gonna get mine because I've got endorsements. I'm gonna get mine
Exactly.
because I mean, obviously he was married to Giselle, so like, go figure. She's making more than him, but his mentality was,
Was.
hey, I want to
Was.
maximize.
Was. Was.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking. Anyway, he was like, hey, I'm going to get mine either way. Let me make sure my boys get theirs. Let me make sure we keep this core together as long as we can. And that's a great mentality to have. It's thinking beyond yourself and looking at the team and looking at, but by looking at maximizing the team around you, you win championships, you get accolades. That then in turn elevates yourself. It's a cycle of elevation that, if you're selfless, if you're trying to give as much as you can to your boys, they're going to pay that back. And they're going to pay it back in championships, and it's going to look good on you, and it keeps going, man. It's a snowball.
Yeah, see, it's funny that you mentioned Tom Brady because Jalen Brunson, that was one of the motivations behind leaving money on the table. He was quoted as saying he wanted to take the Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes approach. A lot of people forget that that deal for Patrick Mahomes, although on paper looks massive, that deal is not what it actually is. That's never going to make out what it actually is. He's restructured it every year to give them flexibility. They just wanted to show that they were actually committed to him long term, and he felt the same way. And as you can see, it's worked out great for him.
Yeah.
But I personally love Jalen Brunson as the player. As a Mavs fan, it does hurt my feelings a little bit that he's not signing that with us. I feel like they did a little dirty net, a little behind the back alley deal with the Knicks in that one whenever they
You
lost
got
the draft.
Kyrie though. You got Kyrie.
I'll say something controversial. I guess at this point, I would rather have Jalen Brunson right now than Kyler Irving.
Yeah,
Because
I
he's
would rather have
younger.
Jalen.
Because he's younger, or because of his play.
Both. I think of the play. I think Kyrie is Kyrie. Don't get me wrong. I love having Kyrie there, and that's arguably the best backcourt duo. But I loved what the chemistry and the young core that they had building with Luka and Jalen Brunson. Excuse me, that took a minute to get out. Sorry, but I liked what they had going on. Yeah, right.
Today, Junior.
Yeah, easier said than done, huh? But anyways, yeah, I really liked the core what they had going on there because when Luka went out the 1 or 2 games in the playoffs, Jalen showcased what he was. And Jalen and Luka never, ever had problems at all. Luka was really upset whenever Jalen left. And they joke every time you see them together, they're hugging, they'll tweet each other, making jokes on about, hey, did you hear that I said this about you? And like they are legitimately good friends, almost to the point you could almost see a reunion later on. That's wishful thinking. I was a Mavs fan, but that's neither here nor there. But I really like Jalen Brunson, and I think this money is well deserved, and I think it makes more sense. And I think a lot more NBA players, just pro athletes in general, take a page out of this book. You get paid. The more you start winning, the more people notice you, and the more that you're going to get sponsorship deals, and that's where you really make your money. Yeah. Obviously, it's not my money to be able to tell you what to do with it, and I would take $156 million or whatever the 200 was if you want to give it to me. But point being is that if the idea is to win and to be remembered as a legend, you got to sacrifice somehow, and that's an easy way to do it right there. And you're going to make it back up because Jalen Brunson is a rising star, and in my opinion, could be an MVP candidate as early as maybe the next year, 2 years, somewhere in that area. I really have a lot of faith in Jalen Brunson and what he does.